Dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Vidya for Success. In this video, we will be studying some of the CET concepts on the lesson Structural Organization in Animals. Yes, our first question is, in cockroach, oxygen is carried to various tissues by. So, cockroach is belonging to Arthropoda phylum. So, in this animal, we can see open type of circulatory system. That means blood is directly pumped from the heart and that will be spread directly on the tissues and organ. So that there is no any specific blood vessels to circulate blood. Clear. And the blood does not consist of any of the pigment to carry oxygen, so that a unique type of network we can see in cockroach to circulate oxygen towards different tissues. Clear. So that huge network is formed by trachea. Understood, right? So trachea directly circulate oxygen required by cells or tissues in the cockroach. So let us see the option A, blood pigment. So blood pigment is not present in cockroach. So if you take the example of human body, we have hemoglobin to carry oxygen, but in cockroach blood pigments are completely absent. Then option B, respiratory pigments. So respiratory pigments are also absent in cockroach. Then option C, tracheal tubes. So trachea forms huge network within the body of cockroach. So this huge network will be connected to each and every cell in the body, so that the oxygen whatever is taken by the organism will be circulated to each and every cell by this huge network. So the correct answer is option C, that is tracheal tubes. Then option D, diffusion through integuments. So diffusion through integuments does not help in carrying oxygen, because the outer surface what we have in the cockroach is very hard, so that by direct diffusion the animal cannot take the oxygen. So the correct answer is option C, tracheal tubes. Then the second question is, Nissel's granules are present in. So Nissel's granules are the group of ribosomes. So these structures helps in the synthesis of protein. So presence of Nissel granules can be noticed in one of the part of neuron. So that part is called as cyton. So the region of cyton consists of Nissel's granule. Clear. So except that we can also notice the distribution of Nissel's granules in the dendrites region. Clear. Other than that, the other parts like axon does not consist of Nissel granules. So let us look into the option A, glia cells. So glia cells does not having Nissel's granules. Then option B, axon. So axon also does not consist of Nissel granules. Then option C, cyton. So the correct answer for this question is option C, that is cyton. So it will be having group of ribosomes, that is what we are calling as Nissel's granules. Is the third question, the blood of cockroach contain no respiratory pigment. It means that, so in some of the organisms we can see the presence of respiratory pigments. So the main function of this pigment is it will carry oxygen towards a different part of body. But in the cockroach there is no respiratory pigment. Then how it circulate oxygen? So let us see the option A, cockroach does not respire. So cockroach is not an anaerobic organism, it is a aerobic organism. So we know all aerobic organisms, they require oxygen for respiration. Clear. So option A is wrong. Then option B, respiration is anaerobic. So respiration is not anaerobic in the cockroach, it is a aerobic organism. Then option C, oxygen goes directly into tissue by diffusion. So by direct diffusion, the animal can't able to take oxygen, because the outer surface exoskeleton what is there in the cockroach is very hard, so that diffusion does not help to intake the oxygen directly. Then option D, oxygen goes directly into tissues by intracellular capillary system. So for respiration, we can see the trachea will be present in cockroach. Clear. So that trachea will form huge network throughout the body. It will be connected to each and every cells in the cockroach. So this huge network will directly circulate oxygen to each and every cell of the animal. So the correct answer is option D. Is the fourth question. Which of the following characteristics is mainly responsible for diversification of insects on land? So on the land we can see number of insects. So the insecta class is actually belonging to the phylum Arthropoda. Clear. So all the insects, they can survive and their number is more because of their unique feature. Clear. So what is the outermost protective layer we can see in the insect that will make the animal to diversify, that is make the animal to survive in extremes of desiccation. Clear. So that outermost coating is called as exoskeleton. So exoskeleton is made out of the chitinous material, and it will be get very hardened due to the deposition of calcium. So it prevents desiccation and gives protection. So because of this, the animal can survive and it can diversify on the land. Clear. So let us see the option. Option A, bilateral symmetry. So bilateral symmetry does not make the organism to diversify. Clear. Then option B, exoskeleton. So the presence of chitinous exoskeleton will make the insect to survive in extremes of environment, and it is favorable for the organism to diversify on land. So the correct answer is option B. Then option C, eyes. So eyes are only the sense organs in insects. Clear. Then option D, segmentation. So segmentation does not helps in diversification because that will not helps in any kind of vegetative propagation, vegetative reproduction. So segmentation is just one character of insect. So it can be also seen in earthworm. Clear. So the correct answer here is option B, exoskeleton. As the fifth question, male cockroach can be identified from the female by the presence of. So male and female cockroach can be distinguished by the external feature. That means by just the morphological character we can identify which one is male and which one is female. So let us see the option. Option A, long antennae. So antennae is present in both the individual. It is not restricted to only male. Then option B, wingless body. So wingless body is there in both the cockroach, male as well as in female. Then option C, elongated abdomen. So elongated abdomen is a characteristic feature of female. Clear. And option D, anal styles. So anal style is the structure that is present in the male cockroach. Clear. That does not present in female. Clear, right? So the presence or absence of the anal style will make the differences between male and female cockroach. If the cockroach is male, that will be consisting of anal style that is absent in female. So the correct answer is option D. Yes, then the sixth question. In cockroach, the testes are present in. So testes are the male reproductive organ. So in the cockroach, the abdominal segments will be having testes. So particularly, some of the abdominal segments will be the region where the testes are located. So let us look into the option. Option A, 3, 4 and 5th abdominal segment. So this is not the actual location, can be find the presence of testes. Then option B, 4, 5 and 6th abdominal segment. So this is the actual location where we can notice the presence of testes, because the testes are paired structure. They are situated on the dorsolateral region. So just below the 4th, 5th and 6th abdominal segment among the fatty bodies, we can see the presence of testes. So the correct answer is option B. Then option C, 5th, 6th and 7th. Option D, 6th, 7th and 8th. Clear. So the correct answer here is option B. Yes, the seventh question. Which of the following is the correct statement about the circulatory system of cockroach? So in the cockroach, the circulatory system is open type of circulatory system. That means heart does not consist of any kind of blood vessels. So the directly heart pumps the blood and it will directly fall on tissues and organs. Clear? So let us see the option A. It is closed type of circulatory system. So the circulatory system in the cockroach is not a closed type, it is open type. Then option B, it is a complicated type of circulatory system. So circulatory system is not a complicated because it just consists of the 13 chambered heart and it is not having any blood vessels to circulate the blood. So it is not considered as a complicated type of circulatory system. Then option C, it takes place without the participation of tissues. So uh, it is a wrong statement because without the participation of tissue, the blood cannot reaches into the different part of body. Clear? So this is also wrong. Then option D, it has 13 chambered heart and in each segment one pair of ostia are present. So this is the right statement because in the cockroach the heart is made out of 13 chambered. So it is formed by inverted funnel shaped segmental chamber. So segmental chambers can be seen in the cockroach. So each chamber except the last one has ostia, so which open to pericardial sinus and have open vascular system. So this is the unique type of circulatory system. Open type of circulatory system can be noticed in cockroach. Clear? So the 13 chambered heart can be seen in the cockroach. So each segment will be having one pair of ostia except the last segment. Clear, right? So the correct answer is option D. Is the eighth question, what is the similarity between fly, cockroach and mosquito? So these three insects are belonging to the same phylum, that is Arthropoda, and they are belonging to the same class Insecta. Because some of the characters, if you notice in the fly, cockroach and mosquito, they are sharing similar characteristic feature. So because of that, they are belonging to the same class Insecta. So let us see the option. Option A, 13 chambered heart. So this is the character can be seen in cockroach. So in cockroach, the number of chambers in the heart is 13. But in the fly and mosquito, the number of chambers varies. Clear? Then option B, three pairs of legs. So three pairs of legs is present in all the three example. Clear? Let us see the option C, open excretory system. So open excretory system is not there in fly, cockroach and mosquito. Then option B, belong to class Insecta. So because of some similar character, as I told, the fly, cockroach and mosquitoes, they are all belonging to the same class, that is Insecta. So the correct answer is option D. Is the ninth question. The camel's hump is composed of a tissue which provides water when oxidized. It is. So camel is a xeric animal. That means it is habited to desert. So in the desert, because of the conservation of water, the camel will be showing some of the modification in its body. That means adaptations. So those adaptations are help the animal to survive in xeric environment. So one such adaptation is presence of hump. So hump helps in radiating the sunlight away from the body so that it can survive in the xeric environment. So one more help, that means the animal getting from the hump is it consists of adipose tissue. So adipose tissue will be storing fat. So when and where the oxygen will be utilized for the oxidation of fat, it will be releases water. So that water is utilized by the animal. So it helps the animal to survive in xeric environment. Clear? So let us see the option A, skeletal tissue. So skeletal tissue does not help in the releasing of water when it is get oxidized. Then option B, areolar tissue. So areolar tissue is not helps in the providing of water. Then option C, adipose tissue. So the correct answer is option C. Then option D, muscular tissue. So among the four options, the correct one is adipose tissue. Is the 10th question. In cockroach, larval characters and nymphal characters are maintained by. So in each of the organism, in different level, the body will be releases different kinds of hormone. So these hormones are the chemicals. They maintain that particular stage. Say for example, aging in the body will be maintained by some of the hormone, and maturity is maintained by some of the hormone. In the juvenile stage, some of the hormones, growth hormones will be get releases. Like that, in each stage, the animal body secrete different kinds of hormones to maintain that particular stage. So in cockroach also, in each of this stage, the animal body releases some kinds of hormone. Clear? So let us see what is the hormone helpful to maintain the larval as well as nymphal characters in cockroach. Option A, ecdysone. So ecdysone is a type of steroid hormone. So this hormone will be secreted in most of the insects. Clear? So the main function performing by ecdysone is it helps in molting. That means for removing the outer skin of insect, this hormone is very essential. Then option B, parotid gland. So parotid gland is a part of salivary gland. It helps the salivary gland to secrete saliva. But the cockroach does not consist of parotid gland. Instead of that, salivary gland itself releases the saliva. It is helpful for the digestion of food in the region of mouth. Then option D, juvenile hormones. So juvenile hormones will be secreted in the cockroach in the developmental stage. That means when the cockroach is young, that means in the nymphal stage, the juvenile hormones will be secreted. So in the nymphal stage, the cockroach, baby cockroach, exactly look like an adult cockroach, only in the external morphology. But the size of cockroach is very small. So that stage is called as the nymphal stage. So the nymphal characters are maintained by juvenile hormone. So juvenile hormone is very essential in the cockroach to maintain larval and nymphal characters. Clear? So the correct answer is option D.